Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, September 2nd. It's September, can you believe it? And that means that it's time for the drawing for the August prize, which was the Christmas in August prize. That is all the stuff that's inside this bag here. That's all Christmas crafting supplies. There were, after I took out the people that told me they didn't want to be in the drawing, I was left with 16 videos, mostly from a couple of people. So, gonna guess it's one of those two people that win, but you never know. It could be one of the people that only got one video submitted in August. So, I wrote the names from right here, those 16 videos, and I put them on these pieces of paper. Each piece of paper is the same size. Each one is folded twice so that I can't see who it is, and each one was written with the same marker so that there's no difference in colors. So, the winner of Christmas in August is, let me make sure I get just one piece of paper here. Okay, that's just one. The winner is Hard Hat Cat. I can see from reading backwards here. My horrible handwriting. Hard Hat Cat is the winner. Let me back up just a little bit. So, Hard Hat Cat, you're international. This sucker's pretty heavy. I'm not sure exactly how heavy it is. So there's a possibility that I'm going to split it into 2 packages for you, which just means more mail for you. Just so that I don't go over that 4-pound limit and end up having to do a ream of paperwork. So that's the main reason. So there's that, Hard Hat Cat, you're the winner. Congratulations on that. And I will be getting that out into the post to you. I'm going to try to get it done this week. We shall see. If I can get your birthday block done in time, I'll put that in there. If not, if I do end up putting it into 2 separate shipments, what I may do is put your birthday block in the second shipment. So I hope that's okay for me to split it up. I'm only going to do that if it's over 4 pounds, just because I don't want to deal with all the extra customs paperwork. So anyway, there's that. What else is going on? All right, so what have I done? Baby gifts. I did one of my coworkers, it's actually my fellow sales assistant. There's 2 of us in the sales department. His wife just had their second child. They actually adopted their first child, and then they learned this past year that they were going to have a baby. So their older daughter is almost 2. I want to say she'll be 2 in like September or October. This baby was due in mid-September. It actually came last Friday or early Saturday, I think. The mom was having some problems. She has a lot of back problems, and some other health problems, and so she was in and out of the hospital over the last month with false labor and real labor, which they needed to stop because it was a little too early. So this past week she hit her 37-week mark, and they decided, because of all the problems, they were going to go ahead and induce and plan the birth. So that's what they did, and I went a little different route with their gift. I did some stenciled onesie and burp cloth sets. So this one is a purple star, which I just I traced the outline of an applique pattern that was in a quilt book I had, I think. Maybe it was a Christmas book. It might have been a Christmas book. Anyway, so there's that. And this is the matching burp cloth that goes with that. And I just did that freehand. I can't remember the name of the blog. I'll have to see if I can find it. But it was a young lady who had done stenciling, and instead of filling in the whole thing, she filled it in with dots, and then she just did a random design on the burp cloth. And although I didn't do that on this one I just used Purple Lumiere, I think it was called, I don't know, it was Pearl Violet, I think is what the paint is called. Anyway, I sprinkled some just glitter dust onto that, into the paint. Here's another one in pink. This one, I just drew the heart freehand onto the freezer paper, ironed it on, and then used the end of a paintbrush that I dipped in the paint and just went around the outside edge of the stencil, or just inside the outside edge of the stencil, and then just kept filling in row after row until I got to the center, and I really like how that came out. I think that came out really cute. That was inspired by that same blog. And the matching burp cloth with that is right here. Okay, so the next thing I got done, the final week of Fandom and Stitch's Summer of Stitching Design Invitational, I actually did 2 designs for. Mainly because I had the time and got a little bit of inspiration, because I was done with the 2 quilts I had been working on. So the theme was Disney, and I trimmed this one a little too close, but I think you're going to recognize who it is. This is one of Phoebe's all-time favorite Disney movies. She loved this movie. This movie is what got her through her recovery from her appendectomy in kindergarten many, many years ago, Monsters, Inc. And so there's that. This is sort of the logo for the Monsters, Inc. and the motto, "We scare because we care." And then I also want to do an old school Disney, so I dug back and tried to find something non-princessy to deal with, and I thought of Pinocchio. So here is Jiminy Cricket, and one of his quotes that I've always liked: "A conscience is that still small voice that people won't listen to." So there's Jiminy Cricket. So yay. And then the last thing I did was, we haven't talked about birthday blocks in a long time because no one's had a birthday in a while, so no one's been working on any of that. But I do belong to the birthday blocks group that began on Livejournal, and we pretty much are only on Facebook now. And the next birthday is mine in mid-October. So for the first year I think this is the 3rd year in a row I've participated in birthday blocks. For the first time, I've actually gotten sample blocks done of my pattern that I chose. I chose the granny square block, and that's actually how I ended up discovering it or using it for the baby quilt that I did for my great niece. I had already chosen it for my birthday block for this year because it seemed like a perfect block for people to either do. There was 2 methods: strip piecing, so if they had pre-cuts on hand, they could do 2 blocks at a time and do it that way, or they could use scraps and do it, because we each make 2 blocks for everybody else, because there's only like 5 or 6 of us participating. Anyway, the other method uses scraps, and I just basically said white background, or white on white fabric for the background, or solid white, and whatever colors you want. Just avoid kind of baby looking prints, pastels, things like that. But other than that, any color goes as long as the background is white, and that'll keep the theme of the quilt together. I had already tested out the patchwork version using the squares when I did the baby quilt, so I was able to link that, saying that I did it. It was easy. Let me know if you have any questions on the group on Facebook. And then this weekend, I also tried the strip piecing method because I do have some jelly roll pieces laying around, and these are the results of that. Because it's a jelly roll, it's a smaller block than what I had for the baby quilt, because those were 3.5-inch squares and the jelly rolls are 2.5 inches. By doing it in the strip piecing method, you basically, the camera cut me off when I was right in the middle of showing you these. So anyway, strip piecing method for the granny square block from Blue Elephant Stitches. The strip piecing method is available in Moda Bake Shop, and the individual squares is available on her blog, and I'll put a link to that down in the description. And anyway, that's all. I'm looking forward to watching all your videos. Clearly had a very productive Labor Day weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! Oh, shit.